Welcome to People. I'm Shirley Lin, and here I am at a fitness center called the O3 Fitness Center on CE Road. And one of the owners, the general manager actually, is Ethan Garcia. Hello, Ethan.
Hi, Shirley. How are you?
Good, good. Now, Ethan is from Australia, and he's been here 2 years. What brought you to Taiwan?
Basically to set up a gym in Taiwan with my business partners. And basically I wanted to bring a unique, different brand of gym to Taiwan, which was functional fitness and effective workouts.
Okay, it is very different. Later we'll show you some shots of how the gym looks like. It's more like open space, okay?
Yes.
And then there are some equipments, but they are bigger than the ones that I'm used to at any normal gym. And maybe to incorporate all these bigger muscular men around. But there's all kinds of different machines still, but there's just a lot more space in the middle and everything, so it's a little different. You know that it's really for building up, future fighters or something?
Well, yeah, we are niche as fighters, but our bread and butter is fitness, the fitness industry. I have a sports degree, sports science degree, background in sport and fitness. Sports, should I say, and basically we do a lot of bodyweight exercises, and so where I'm going with the functional exercises and bodyweight exercises, so everyone should be able to move around functionally and get the best range of motion for their bodies and get the best out of their bodies. I'm actually not a big equipment person. I'm a reasonably big guy, and I quite often have a lot of guys that come up to me and say, "How much do you lift, bro?" And I actually don't know because I quite often work out with 7-kilo medicine balls and things like that. So,
right. Yeah, you studied sports. You said sports.
Sports science. Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
And but you actually fought for some time. How long?
Just over 15 years. I was a professional fighter.
Right. In mixed martial arts.
No. In kickboxing, boxing, and Muay Thai. And although they sound very similar, they are actually three very different sports. Yeah.
Okay. So you grew up very active, and you knew you were going to go into sports as a profession, as a career.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to. My mom had different plans, and there was a few battles there.
And it's always with the moms.
Yeah, hence why I got the degree, because she said you got to go to university.
Good thing there's a sports science, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's something I always wanted to do. Is my passion, and I was actually. It is a very hard thing to get into. There's not many people that make it, and I was very fortunate, very lucky. To make it, and plus a lot of hard work. I worked very hard at it. It was something I really wanted to do.
I know you said you wanted to be here in Taiwan to start, to set up a fitness center, but why Taiwan? And I think this kind of fitness center is kind of new to Taiwan, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I was actually looking at possibly setting up a gym in the UK, because my mum is from the UK. She's an English lady that went to Australia and fell in love with this Australian guy who was my dad, and that's how I came about. So I have a British citizenship through my mom, and I was looking at possibly doing that there. There are other fighters there, and I had some good contacts there to do things, but I wouldn't be the first one doing this. And what I saw in Taiwan was I'd be very unique. As far as fighting myself, that was a different story. But as opening up a business here, I thought it'd be very unique, and that interested me. And then the more I've stayed here, the more I love the culture, the more I love the people. I came here to check it out for 3 months, and after 3 months, I was sold.
Really, and just like that?
I live here now. I've signed 5-year contracts on leases, and I'm learning Chinese.
Oh, good. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's a difficult language to learn.
Very.
Right. Now, I know that, just last week actually, I interviewed a mixed martial art fighter. Yeah. And he is actually Taiwanese, but he grew up in Canada.
Right.
And we are going to have the very first bout of mixed martial art. It's with the One Fighting Championship. For the first time in Taiwan. So this is fairly new, and you see some future in this market here in Taiwan? I can't picture these. I don't know. You know, when you think about Asian guys, they're smaller than you, but what's the catch here?
Well, the thing is, in boxing, kickboxing, MMA, Muay Thai, there's different weight divisions, and so generally the weight divisions, depending on the federation or the style, shift from about 5 kilos. And you can, if you, like I said, if you're lucky enough and you've got the work ethic to work hard, you can make a professional career out of it, and you can make some good money. You can make some really good money, and kind of set yourself up for life in a basically like a 10-year career or something like that. I see a lot of potential in Taiwan because it's a very untapped market, and there's so much history here with martial arts anyway, Sanda, Kung Fu, this type of thing. So I think some of that can be harnessed and tweaked and used, and I've seen a lot of raw talent here, and I know there's not a big emphasis on sports in Taiwan, but yeah, we need more professional athletes here. I would like I mean, fitness is what I do, and I like getting people healthy, and I like doing that as a coach. But my passion, I would love to see MMA. Boxing fighters from Taiwan, representing Taiwan in the Olympics, on the world stage, and being superstars. I'd love to see that happen. I'd love if I could be a part of that. I'd love to be a part of
That's
that.
great. We need people like you to have a vision for Taiwanese people getting into Olympics. Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, how are Taiwanese people catching on with this? You said all these different Muay Thai and whatever you can do here or to train for. I mean, are young people liking this kind of thing? Because I think it's kind of new. I mean, there are gyms, okay?
Yeah.
And there are workouts. And then people like to, you know, lift weights and go on the treading machine and all kind of stuff, you know, to look good and all that. But it's only for their own sake.
Yeah.
But here, it looks like you're building up something that you want to train up, bring up these athletes
Right.
so that they can go out and compete in the international arena, right?
Yes.
Yay.
I do, and I really try to get. It's very common all over the world in the amateur kind of ranks of any fighting sport that people take it as especially men in particular, take it as a very personal thing. As like, I'm having a fight with this person, and it's you know they've offended your mother or something, and then this is a very serious thing. But it should be viewed as a sport. And it's exactly the same as basketball. So if you know, like say for example, you and me playing basketball together one-on-one, I want to score a shot in that hoop, but I can't just go for that shot because you know I'm going to do that. And you see a lot of fighters, they kind of take some punches, they kind of do this thing like, I'm tougher, give me a punch. Which is kind of really silly because I'm just saying like, hey, shoot a hoop, you know, just go over it. From a sporting point of view, I want to make you miss. I want to make it kind of look a little bit ridiculous. I want to show you how I can play my sport better than you. I want to school you, so to speak. And give you a little bit of razzle dazzle, make you look up here and then change direction, go around there and shoot the ball. And that's kind of the same approach I have with fighting. I like to, if people are looking up here, I like to kick them in the leg. Once they start, oh, that hurt a little bit, he's going to kick me in the leg again, then I'll hit you back up there again. That type of thing. And so I like to get people to think. It's a game of chess, essentially, physical chess.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. So you want to teach Taiwanese people the winning tactics.
Yeah.
Right.
And this to be a fighter, that's what you really need. You can't just like war with everybody, like that type of thing. Like stand in front of guys and take punches and give punches. That's any punch can hurt you and stop you, so to speak. So
wow.
So it's like a game of tag.
Yeah.
High stakes tag.
I think that's what we need in Taiwan.
And you don't want to be it.
Right. Because you know how Taiwanese parents are. Taiwanese parents are into like study is more important than anything else in the world.
Yes.
So I don't know. Are you getting the feel of that kind of you know, sensitive area where young people want to do what they want to do? You know, get active, not just study.
Yeah.
Or sitting still and getting good grades, or you know, that kind of stuff. Because Taiwanese people, I mean, including, you know, this MMA fighter that I interviewed last week, he said his parents were against what he wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
And then now, of course, they're accepting, but it took a while. And you know, this kind of thing.
It's not just Asian parents.
Oh, really?
My mother is a special education teacher. She's got a master's in education. She works for the government. She goes into school to assess so-called problem children, this type of thing. My coach came around to our house and said, because I originally just started to train because I enjoyed it, and he saw something in me, my coach. He came around to talk to my parents today. I think this kid's got something. He could become Australian champion. We could do something with this kid. And my dad was like, yeah, you know. My mom was like, no. And it kind of, yeah, so but being a Capricorn and a very stubborn man, I eventually, a lot of headbutting with my mom, we came to a deal. Was if you go to university and if you get good grades and you can still do what you do. And what I did was I actually worked as a security personnel. I used to do all kinds of things from nightclubs to dance parties to the Chippendales and the Thunder Down Under. That there's security for those.
And your mom was all right with those?
Well, to make ends meet, because as an amateur fighter, you make no money. And and so I put myself through university, and I put myself through as an amateur fighter, so I could train and pay my gym fees and train with the best guys and do what I need to do. And I was very fortunate enough to get a professional contract before I finished university, and then become Australian champion and go on from there and build from there and actually just train and train twice a day and fight every 8 weeks. That's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. You picked Taiwan. You picked an Asian country. Is it because, like Muay Thai, and what was the other thing you were saying? Oh, shadow boxing. That's all. Is shadow boxing an Asian? I mean, it's an Asian thing.
Shadow boxing?
Yeah. Did you say that just now?
No, I said sanda.
Huh?
Sanda is like
I've never heard that.
It's a form of Chinese kickboxing.
Okay, kickboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could have picked any country in the world, but you came to Taiwan. Is it because of the Asian element behind these different martial arts?
I have some roots here. I have
What?
I have some roots here.
I heard that. What do you mean by you've got some roots?
You can't tell by the way I look. No, so I actually have some roots here in Taiwan. I spent many years living in Thailand, and I speak a little Thai.
Right.
But I have some roots here as my good friend and my business partner, Sunny Wang. And also my partner is Taiwanese as well. So who I met in Australia.
Oh, got it.
As well. So obviously her parents, which I consider my parents, and things like that. So
got it. Okay.
So that's my roots in Taiwan.
Right.
My good friend and my family.
I see. Well, that's great. Have your parents visited you here and looked at the gym?
Yeah.
You set up here and everything?
My mom has been over once already, and she's coming back over on the 5th of July. She's back soon. So she's...
Not to watch that match on July 11th.
No, she won't.
Okay.
My mom, she does yoga 6 times a week. She's been doing it for like 30 years.
So she's actually athletic in her own ways.
Very athletic, very busy, but she's totally doesn't understand the sports side of boxing. And so even like, for example, I'd go overseas, I go to Germany, I'd have a fight. And then she'd be worried about me because I'm a son. And I'd see her in the kitchen and she'd go, "Are you going to Germany to the fight?" And I'd go, "Yeah." And she'd go, "Oh, okay." Like this. And then when I get back, I'd come back and I'd be in the kitchen again or something, and she'd be like, "Did you, how did it go? Did you
win?
Did you win?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, good." And I was like, "Aren't you happy for me?" And she's like, "Well, no, because it means you hurt somebody." But at least you didn't get hurt, but kind of, you know.
So she never went to watch you fight in a match at all?
Well, unfortunately, as much as I love my mother, she's an amazing lady, she never really understood the sports side of it. And I tried to explain it to her a few times, and I mean, a son cannot educate his mother. This doesn't happen anywhere in the world.
But your father has seen you fight many times.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a mother too, and maybe that's why is that we don't want to see our children get bloody.
Yeah.
We find this to be violent.
Yes.
And bloody. I mean, those are the two words we want to use in this sport. I mean, but you try to tell me otherwise.
Well, basically, like I say, it's from the sports point of view. So high stakes game of tag. So
right.
So the idea is like some of my my high level boxing buddies at home that are world champions that I train with and spar with. Sometimes we walk up to each other, and if this is our shoulders, we'll do stuff like this. And we'll kind of move like that, and then we'll separate from each other. And people are like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, actually, I was about to throw a right." I saw he moved that way, so he was already going to counter me. Then I went through my left, he already countered that. Then I went to weave under it, and he already did something else, and I just backed off because we both knew that we kind of blocked each other's stuff. We kind of countered, then we moved out. So
this is in a match?
No, this is just inspiring and training. But we're still hitting each other and inspiring, and so we kind of like essentially it's like I'm saying you're sussing things out and you're waiting for people to make a mistake. So you're picking out people's rhythm. A sense of a fighter or warrior would be just somebody who just goes out there and throws punches. I like to call it hit and hope. You kind of don't know what they're doing. Whether they win or lose, they don't really know what they did. Even if they knock the guy out, they still don't know what they did. But it's very different to actually setting something up and having timing and rhythm and having a plan and thinking a few moves ahead and looking for where he puts his body weight. Every time I do that, he puts his body weight there. So I know there's body weights on that leg, so maybe that's a good time to kick his leg. So I'll go like that and then kick his leg, or this type of thing. So, it's,
So this sport is not a no-brainer.
If you want to
use your
If you want to make the top ranks, definitely. You need. If you want to get like say in the top 20, top 10 in the world, you need that kind of thinking. You can't just go through there throwing punches and not hitting and hoping. So.
You give me the feeling that, and that's why you have your, what do you call it? Your nickname? Do you call it?
Yeah.
Gentleman.
Fight name. Yeah.
Fight name. It's called Gentleman. I think you're nice to your. You think you're nice to your opponents?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, of course, you're fighting with spirit to win and everything, but you are, yeah.
I'm extremely competitive. That's my thing. Whether
you don't look it.
No. If you and me were to play tiddlywinks right now, I will try and win. I'm extremely competitive whatever I do. And that's what made me a good sportsman. But then again, it's a sport. Like, I'm not angry with the person I'm doing it with. I just want to show him my sport. I want to show him how good I am at my sport. And if I can make him miss and then hit him while he's off balance and that type of thing, then that's just showing my skill level.
A good fighter, you must have the attitude of winning.
Yes.
Okay.
I think any sportsman, if whether you're running 100 meters in the Olympics.
If you're not, you shouldn't be in it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're out.
I'll never be one. Wow. Now, so, I don't know, have you convinced me yet? Mothers thinking that this is just totally violent and bloody, and so, good luck, son, but I'm not going to see you fight. So, and when you come back in one piece, then great.
Yeah.
You throw us into a roller coaster every time you go on a bout.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a mother, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do.
I hear you. I personally, and this didn't happen to my mother, but because there's a lot of different gyms out there, and some are maybe not so good, and their understanding of training is just hitting each other hard type of thing, and that's how you get tougher and become a fighter. So we'll be actually doing some research and finding some good champions, some good gyms, some good trainers, this type of thing. So your child or son is going with the best, the best team behind them. So essentially a calculated risk. It's always a risk, but the more calculated your risk is, the better your chances are, right? You're not just rolling the dice.
Right. I did learn a little bit from a previous interview that you should never think that you're going to get hurt, because if you do, then you will get hurt. And the sport is, I'm talking about MMA, mixed martial arts. There's just a combination of so many different, fighting skills incorporated into one, that it's just really exciting. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What's the difference between boxing and mixed martial arts? Because I see that, when I see wearing gloves, then we would think, what's boxing? But what's the difference there?
Well, one of okay, so this transition to so boxing is just hands, just using your hands, boxing with gloves on. Kickboxing, which is more European style kickboxing, is using your hands and your legs, so you can kick and you can knee. You cannot hold. Whereas
mixed martial arts, you can hold.
In Muay Thai, then you've got 8 limbs. You can punch, elbow, knee, kick. You can hold. You can throw. They call it dirty boxing. You can do all that. And then in mixed martial arts, you can do all that. Plus, when you get thrown on the floor, you can continue. So that's where more the jiu-jitsu wrestling aspect comes in, where they maybe they call it ground and pound, where they're looking to hit somebody on the floor, then they'll maybe go for an arm bar or look for a position to take somebody.
I mean, I watched a couple of bouts on YouTube, especially mixed martial arts, and it's after watching a little bit, it's not as rough as I thought it would be. I mean, I guess at other times I've always seen like when I turn on TV, it's already the bloody part, you know, a cut here and you know the teeth is all bleeding and all that.
It's all blurry in Taiwan on the TV.
Blurred? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But you know, after you watch it, it seems like it's I wouldn't say rough anymore. You know, I think there's also kind of like figuring out each other even before the fight started. And then maybe even like trying to figure out what the other person's weakness is. And the first couple minutes, you can just got him down and you win. Okay.
Well, I think with MMA, it's still very much a new sport as well. So there's so many codes you need to know to do it. So you need to be well versed in striking, kickboxing. You need to be well versed in wrestling, which is takedown defense. You need to be well versed in jiu-jitsu, which is submissions, arm bars, triangles, this type of thing. So now you're starting to get the new generation now, because it's been around for like 10 years or so. You're starting to get that new generation that have all those things. Like I've got one of my guys at the back there. He's kind of started from 9 years old, and he's 18 now, and he's got all these things.
He's Taiwanese?
Taiwanese heritage. He's born in the States. His family own a business here.
Okay. Got the feeling that at 9, you know, starting at 9, I mean, what Taiwanese parents would let their kids start learning these kinds of things at 9?
Well, his coach, Dave Camarero, trains the U.S. Navy SEALs. He has a contract with the U.S. Navy SEALs, and actually trains local law enforcement in the States. And also he trained 5 UFC world champions. I can only think of 2 off the top of my head, Cain Velasquez and John Fitch. So and I've had Dave over here a few times to do seminars at my gyms. He's the best grappling coach in the world, in my opinion. He created his own style of grappling called Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu, which is a combination of judo, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu.
I get so confused because sometimes they all look similar to me, but there are slight differences. The way you explained how you know. For one, you can only use the hands, and then next, you can use knees. But then, and then you said when you're down the ground, you're supposed to let go of the person. But actually, there are others that you can still keep fighting. Wow, I'm learning so much.
And being an American-based sport, wrestling is obviously big in high schools in the States. So that's I predominantly see a lot of wrestlers in MMA, in my opinion, and the high-level strikers, the boxers, aren't really doing MMA yet because there's still not as much money in it. Because, I mean, you look at the last Manny Pacquiao fight, he got like 30 million US. He's not going to get that sort of money in the UFC, and he has to learn how to wrestle as well. So this is what I'm saying is you get some better strikers at the moment. Unless you get that new generation, you get some better strikers, you get some better grapplers. And so kind of quite often you see, like, it depends on the fight you watch in MMA. You can see a striker versus a grappler. So it's obviously the striker wants to keep it standing, and the grappler wants to take it to the ground because he's not comfortable striking and trading. And he's not comfortable on the ground, vice versa. So they want to. So you see a lot of this style of fights,
Okay. Now I hear that you're actually teaching some classes.
Yes.
And 70 to 80% of the students in your class, or I don't know, are women.
And local.
Now that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. Because there was actually, to be really honest, I'm quite a straight shooter. One of my biggest fears opening up a gym in Taiwan was great being a pioneer, great doing something new, which is always great to be being the first one doing it, but also risky. But what I was scared about was being a big guy, being a foreigner, not speaking Chinese, having tattoos. Maybe whether some of these elements might I'd only just sort of get the expat community. And then I kind of basically, that's like, 1% of the market in Taipei, and that would kind of cap my income. Actually, it's been the other way around. Like I said, 78% females in my class, local people,
Really?
And that was the idea, because the idea behind my gym was I wanted to have different workouts, not just fast, effective workouts, but I wanted to build a community. So it doesn't mean you have to be best friends. I do a lot of stuff where you interact with each other and do partner strength and body conditioning workouts. So rather than I go into a big chain gym and I stand next to you and we spend 50 minutes sweating, I maybe glance at you twice, but we never even say boo to each other. I actually get, okay, everyone pick a partner now. So, I'm Shirley, I'm Ethan, and then we'll do some squats together, and we'll do something else together, and we'll do some crunches together, that type of thing. We kind of push each other through it, and then it might be that I like working out with you, and you like working out with me, so we go, hey, are you coming every Monday? You want to be my Monday workout buddy type of thing?
Yeah.
And it's really starting to happen. The community is starting to develop.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you think, why are these women coming to your classes? What do you think they want to get out of this? Women,
most of the women I've spoken to,
self-defense?
Yeah, self-defense. People like to actually learn a skill because personally, I'm a fitness trainer, I have a strength, a sports degree. So I can understand what you need to get out of the workout. But as a boxer, I can understand, like, I get a little bit frustrated when I see so many boxing fitness classes because they're not boxers and they're kind of a little bit teaching people not so good technique. And it's just like 50 1-2s and 50 sit-ups. And so I like to give people real technique so they actually learn real stuff, but basically, and get a good workout and an effective workout. So they're kind of combining a lot of things. So basically, real technique, but not at the expense. Real fitness, but not at the expense of the technique. So people learn something, and they learn something useful. They learn something real. And like I was saying to you before, if you start to pick up the rhythm and understand boxing, it actually gets very technical, and it actually engages the brain. So rather than just do this 50 times, which gets very boring once you get to 20, or depending on where you're at with that. But we'll do things like 1-2 slip, weave, 1-2 hook, and you're thinking about what you're doing. Then I'll change the combination, so your brain's engaged as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
But the most feedback I've got is slimming. Everybody wants to get toned, and they want to slim from all the females. And boxing, kickboxing, it's a full body toning workout right there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. What's with the O3?
O3 was
O3 Fitness.
After several brainstorming meetings, which was a bit of beer involved as well. But O basically stands for oxygen, and 3 is the 3 energy types that you engage. You should be engaging when you work out. So if you go to, without getting too technical, if you go to, for say a long run or a long bike ride, you're actually only activating 1 energy type.
Okay.
So I've got some classes here that only take like 20 minutes long. One of my classes is called Quick Fit. It's a 20-minute workout. You engage all 3 energy types in that class, and it's more effective than you going for an hour and a half run in that 20 minutes.
Really?
So it's a very, very, very useful use of your time. Yeah.
All right. What do you see in the future, this market in Taiwan? You must see something. That's why you're here.
Yeah, I do. The plan from the beginning was always to build a brand, which is O3.
This is the first, though.
This is the first, yeah.
All right.
And then
only in Asia?
Yep. Just right. The first one's in Taiwan, Taipei, right here. And then the second one will be in Taipei, which we're kind of already looking at some locations at the moment.
Really?
And then
the same type of thing?
Same. The generic classes will be the same. The fitness, the effective workouts. But we might do a different theme in each class. Each gym rather. So this gym has a bit. This gym has a bit more of a fighting theme. There's only kind of that many fighters in Taiwan, so you couldn't replicate that.
Right.
So the idea would be, I'm just going to throw some things out there. But say, for example, a pole dancing theme in one. So you'd have, like, the back would be more set up with poles in a studio, so you'd have a more advanced studio with pole dancing, and then you still have the generic classes over here. And the weightlifting.
Pole dancing?
Pole dancing, yeah. I've had so many young ladies inquire about pole dancing.
Oh, so it's going to be tailored for women?
I think, that one would be, that one would be more so. You're
going to be teaching it?
Definitely not, no. My pole dancing is terrible.
It'll be too big and heavy, you just fall to the ground. Okay, Right. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I didn't put enough work into my pole dancing.
Wow.
Yeah. So the kind of idea is that generic classes but with different flavor at each gym. So this one's the fighting flavor, and that one's the
Okay.
different flavor. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
So,
that
yeah.
sounds fun. Now, what do you think Taiwanese people need the most to become winning fighters? One last question.
To become winning fighters.
Yeah, what do you think Taiwanese people really need most?
I think
At this
you
point.
need. I think you need the correct training, and I think you need the right mindset. And that would be the very short answers. Otherwise, I'll go into a long thing explaining both of those.
Okay, well, it's been a lot of fun talking to you,
It has
Ethan.
been fun talking to you too.
Yeah, good luck, and thank you so much for setting up this fitness center that is, tailored for different, different corner.
Yeah.
So.
And on that note, I insist that you come do some workouts here on the house.
Okay.
So yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan.
Cool. All right. Hey,
All right.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you for watching, people. I'm Shirley Lan.